Do you love silly stories for kids? Why not consider joining our family? You can even get a very special message from one of your favourite silly stories for kids characters. Head over to the website to find out more. It's your support that helps us to continue to make exciting stories and more crazy content.
Did somebody say crazy?
Oh, Pimpin, no. One day, 3 little kids named Angus, Willow, and Lenny were all sitting at home. Now today it was freezing cold and they were all sitting inside. "Mum, can you turn on the heater?" yelled Angus. "Yes," said Willow. "Can you turn it on?" Yeah, it's pretty cold," said Lenny, who was their cousin. Well, I've tried," said their mum, "but for some reason the heater isn't working." "Why is it not working?" said Angus. "I don't know," said his mum. "For some reason, it just stopped." The kids started looking around the room to try and work out what was going on. All of a sudden, Lenny spotted something. "What's that over near the heater duct?" The kids looked, and sure enough, over near the heater duct, there was something. It had a dark colour and it was kind of fuzzy. And then it disappeared straight down the heater. Mum? Yeah? Did you see that? No, I didn't see it, Angus." That's really weird." The kids looked and they walked over to the heater vent and they looked down, and as they did, some eyes were looking back at them. "Whoa!" said Angus. What is that?" I got no idea," said Willow. "Me either," said Lenny. Excuse me, who are you?" All of a sudden, out of the heater vent climbed a little black bunny rabbit. "Well, my name's Daryl," said the black little bunny. "Daryl Dust Bunny." "Oh, hi, Daryl," said Angus. "Yeah," said Willow. "Hi. What are you doing in the heater vent?" said Lenny. "Well, that's where I live," said Daryl. "Do you want to come see?" "Well, we kind of just want to turn the heater on." "Yeah, I know, us too. For some reason, the big man that lives down the bottom won't turn it back on." "You mean there's a man living down the bottom?" said Angus. "Yeah, for some reason he's pretty upset." "Well, maybe we could help," said Willow. "Yeah," said Lenny. "Maybe we could help convince him to turn the heater back on." "Let's go check with Mum." So the kids raced back in. "Hey, do you mind if we jump down the heater vent with the dust bunny and go find out what's going on with the heater and try and get it fixed?" "I'll do anything to feel warm again," said their mum. Sure you can." "Thanks. All right, kids, follow me," said Daryl as he raced back to the nearest heater vent and jumped in. Daryl," said Willow. "Yes?" We're not going to fit down there." "Oh. Well, maybe we could use these," he said. He pulled out 3 little tiny sets of black bunny ears. What do we do with those?" "You gotta put them on," said Daryl. They won't fit on our head." "Well, try something." Willow picked hers up and popped it on her finger. All of a sudden, as she did, she started to shrink smaller and smaller and smaller until she was the same size as Daryl. Then she grabbed her bunny ears and popped them on top of her head. "Come on, guys," she said. "Ha, she sounds so small," said Lenny. "All right, I'll try too." So Lenny grabbed the little set of black bunny ears and popped them on his finger, and he shrunk as well. Angus copied and did the same. "All right," said Daryl. "Time for us to go," he said as he jumped down into the heater vent. The kids followed. As they jumped into the heater vent, they found all kinds of things in there. Lost toys and cars and balls. They even found the head of Willow's favourite doll. "Hey, I've been looking for this for ages." "Oh, I forgot I put that in there," said Angus. "Angus," said Willow. "Sorry." The kids kept walking and they walked down the vents until there came some junctions and other bunnies started coming from all the other directions. Hi, Daryl." "Oh, hi, how are you?" "Oh, I'm good, thanks. Has anybody had any luck with the man down the bottom?" "Oh, no, not yet, but I've brought these kids." "Oh, good luck," they said. "He seems pretty grumpy." "Oh dear, we'll see what we can do," said Daryl. The kids followed Daryl and waved to all the other dust bunnies as they worked their way along all the tubes through the heater. They followed, and as they did, the tubes got bigger and bigger and bigger until they were standing in front of the biggest tube that they had found so far. And in front of them was a big, grumpy-looking garden gnome. "Who disturbs me?" said the grumpy-looking gnome.
It's me, Daryl."
"Daryl, what are you doing here?" he said.
Well, I've come to ask if you can turn the heater on.
No, I will never turn this heater back on ever again,
said the grumpy-looking gnome. Why not? Said Angus.
Who's that?
My name's Angus.
Where do you come from, Angus? I've never seen you before.
Well, this is actually our house. This is where we live.
You live in the tubes as well? I've never seen you.
No, we live in the house that all the tubes connect to.
What? What are you doing down here? You don't belong down here. How dare you enter our domain?
Well, sorry. We were just really cold and trying to work out how to turn back on the heater.
I've said I will never turn back on the heater ever again, he said.
Why not? Said Willow.
Well, because I'm very grumpy.
Why are you so grumpy? Said Lenny.
Because all the tubes are full of all kinds of things. There's bowls and cars. Nobody respects these heater vents anymore. All kinds of things get dropped down here, and it's no good. I will never turn back on the heater ever again.
Oh, said Daryl. Maybe we could do something about it?
Like what?
Said the grumpy-looking garden gnome. Maybe... I don't know, said Daryl. I give up. It's too much thinking. I've got an idea, said Angus. What is it? Said Willow. Maybe we could work together and try and clean all the vents. Oh, said Lenny. We might be able to do that. Excuse me, Mr. Garden Gnome.
Yes?
He said. If we clean all the vents out and collect all the things, would you think about turning back on the heater?
He
said.
Maybe.
It's better than nothing, said Lenny. So the kids walked away from where the garden gnome was. Daryl, can you call all the dust bunnies together? I'll have to do the special call, said Daryl. I think it's the time. Please do it, said Willow. All right, said Daryl, as he raised a hand up to his mouth and he started to call. As he yelled, dust bunnies started coming from everywhere, and they all collected in the one spot where the kids were waiting. They all sat and they looked at the kids. Hi, everybody. My name's Angus, and I'm Lenny, and I'm Willow, and we're here to help get the heater turned back on. That would be very good. What's your plan? Well, it turns out that the garden gnome down the bottom is very sad because everything's so full down here. He doesn't like that there's lots of extra things in the vents. Well, how does it all get in here? I think that might be our fault, said Angus. We accidentally drop things down the heater vents sometime. We'd love to get them back, but it always goes too deep. We can't reach. Yeah, I've lost all kinds of things down the heater vents, said Willow. Oh, well, that's very strange. Yeah, but they didn't do it on purpose. It was just an accident. Yeah, said Angus, but maybe we can work together and help clean it all back up. That sounds like a great idea. Well done, kids. We can do that.
Yeah, maybe we can all work together.
That sounds great. All right, well, let's all get into groups and split up and go see what we can find. So they started racing off through all the different tubes of the heater, looking for things that had fallen down. They found pens and all kinds of things. They even found... Hey, look what I found, yelled Daryl. He had found a toy car. I think the motor even still works. He jumped in and turned it on. Brum, 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 brum. Maybe we can use this to help clean. Yippee! So the kids jumped in the back with Daryl and the car started driving around through all the heater tubes. As it did, it collected everything that it crashed into. They were all driving past lots and lots of different things, collecting hairbrushes and, oh, there's Mummy's car keys that she lost a very long time ago. It was very funny. As they collected it all, they pushed it out the nearest vent again and again and again until the vents were almost completely and totally clean. Look how sparkly it is, said Angus. Yes, said Willow. It's beautiful. Well done, guys, said Lenny. Surely the garden gnome will be happy now. So the kids all went back down to where the garden gnome was, and they started to tell him, look, we've cleaned all the vents. They're all perfectly clean. There's no more things in them anywhere.
Well, I've decided that it doesn't matter. I'm still not turning on the heater.
What? Said Angus. Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Oh, said the kids. We thought this would work. We worked so hard. What are we ever going to do? I've got an idea, said Willow. The kids all got together and started to whisper. Well, he seems to be a bit upset and a bit disappointed. Maybe if we show him some fun, he might change his mind. But how are we going to show him some fun, said Lenny. I've got an idea, said Angus. The kids turned around and went over to the garden gnome. Well, Mr. Garden Gnome, I guess it's okay, but would you like a ride in our car?
A ride in your car? That sounds fun.
It is fun, said Willow. We'll even let you drive.
What?
Said the garden gnome.
That sounds interesting.
So the garden gnome came over to their car and he jumped in. The kids all jumped in the back. All right, said Angus. So this one here makes it go. Okay. And this one here makes it stop. Okay. And then use this one to turn.
Well, let's see, said
the garden gnome. And with that, he put his foot down on the go pedal and the car took off all round the heater vents. Said the garden gnome, holding onto the steering wheel as it did loops and loops around all the vents, zooming around up and down and inside and outside. He even accidentally jumped out one heater vent, drove across the lounge room floor, and popped back down another vent. He was speeding around for ages. This is the best fun I've ever had, he yelled, driving the car all over the place. He zoomed and he zoomed and he zoomed until he raced to a big stop back down the bottom of all the heater pipes. When he pulled over, the smile on his face was so big, no one could believe it.
That was the best fun I have had in my whole entire life, which means there's only one thing left to do.
What's that? Said Angus. Yeah, said Willow. What is it? Please tell us, said Lenny.
I think it's time we turn back on the heater.
Yay! Yelled the kids, and the dust bunnies all cheered as well. Whippy! They yelled. The gnome went down to the switch on the side of the box and flicked it on. As he did, heat started to pour all the way through all the pipes. Whoa, it's getting hot in here fast.
Quick, borrow one of these,
said the garden gnome, and he passed each of the kids a strange-looking piece of material. What do we do with this?
Just hold the corners and see, he said.
So the kids held the corners of the bits of material and they turned into parachutes that got filled with warm air, and the kids got blown all the way through all the vents until they popped back out one of the heater vents and back into the house. They flew right up to the roof and then slowly drifted back down. When they got back to the ground, they took their bunny ears off and they went back to normal size. Their mum raced into the room. Kids, the heater's on. We know, said the kids. She looked around and saw piles of things next to every single heater vent. There was cars and toys and, are they my car keys? She said. Where did all this come from? Well, said Angus, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story. This episode's brought to you by Daryl the Dust Bunny's Duct Cleaning. We can clean all your heated ducts with a very fast, very fun car. If you're kind enough, we'll even let you drive. We hope that you've been enjoying the silly stories for kids. Don't forget to leave us a review wherever you find your podcasts and share it with one of your friends. This has been me, Daryl Dust Bunny. And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.